Hey Beef. So I noticed you were trying to go with the whole RedPower 2 power throughout your entire base with the theme and everything. Um, and I figured you can do this with your resource collecting too. You know, before you're using the Buildcraft quarry. Well, RedPower has something that's like 100 times better than a quarry. I'm not sure if you know about it. They're called frames. You can do really cool things with them. So I built up a tunnel bore here, and I just have a portal that I activate through wireless redstone here to get to it. Oop. You kind of see when I right click it opens the portal there. But anyways, this this is my tunnel bore. It's kind of based off Direwolf's a little bit, but it's kind of my own design. So yeah, these right here, these tubes, they're redstone frame tubes, and when they get pulsed with a redstone, they activate these block breakers, which are in front of them. Let me just fly in here and show you. Yeah, these are the block breakers here. So every time they get pulsed, they'll break the blocks in front of them. And then I have these ender chests here that'll all the items will get shipped to the ender chest, and which gets pulled out with like 3 or 4 sorting machines into my base in the other world. But I know you guys don't have Mistcraft, but you can still just do this in the overworld. But yeah, so this whole thing gets pushed forward using these frame motors here. They're not too expensive, and they're powered with this battery box here. And the battery box gets power from a filter retriever setup, and I have the same thing in the other world that's pulling batteries from these battery boxes that are getting charged by solar panels. So this one just pulls the full batteries out, puts it in the battery box, and then I have a retriever pull the empty batteries out and put it back into the ender chest. And there's a world anchor over there keeping the whole thing loaded. So yeah, and then I have a clock here, or I have the wireless redstone frequency 10, you can kind of see it through there. Then a NOT gate, so when it's powered, it'll turn the clock on pretty much, and when it's off, when it's off, the clock will be off. So when I pulse this tunnel bore, the whole thing will move forward, break the blocks in front of it, send all the items to the ender chest, and then repeat. Alright, so I'm going to turn it on now. You see it all got lit up, and all the items are now just flowing to the ender chest. You can just see just the amount of items getting pulled. It's just crazy. And then the sorting machines are instantly pulling them out. And then we move forward. I made a little captain's chair up here just for kicks. But yeah, this thing is gone. We're at negative 1,313. Spawns at negative 200 Z. So I mean, you can just see how far I've gotten with just tunnel bore. And then these frames can only, or the frame motors, the 2 down here, they can only pull or push 1,000 blocks. So that's why this tunnel bore head isn't bigger. I have it 50 by 8, I believe. Yeah, 50 by 8, which is 400 blocks in area. And then it's actually too deep, so it's 800. So it's 400 block breakers and 400 redstone frame tubes, or tube frames, that pulls all the items into the ender chest there. And the clock also sends the pulse to the block breakers through these tubes here. So that's how pretty much the whole thing works. Anyways, let me turn this off. And then to get back, I open up the portal here, and I can go back to here. And then if I want to go back, just right click and walk through. So that's pretty much it, and I will go over the basics in my creative world now. Alright, and we're back in the creative world. So in its simplest form, a quarry is just 2 motors, both facing the direction that you want them to move. So you can see the arrows are both pointing that way. And I have them charged just using a battery box that's not in a it's not in a good location, but I just used to charge both of them. Since motors have their own internal storage, I can just get rid of this, since you can kind of see the blue right there and there is both lit up. So in the simplest form, the Quarry will just move forward by the front motor pushing everything forward, and the top motor pushing the bottom motor back into position. And this is accomplished because of the way covers work on frames. So normally if this thing was attached to this frame, it would push the whole thing forward again, and the motors would just be left behind and the frame would continue on forward. But since there's a cover down here, this is able to reset, and this is invaluable in having the tunnel bores, because you don't want your frame sticking to the side of the cave that you're trying to make. So if you noticed in the other video, I had my tunnel bore coated in these things. But yeah, that's the basics. That's how it works. The next step I have built already is to get the battery into position. And actually, that's not right. This needs to go here. So let me charge this up a little bit. Right now I'm just doing it manually. So that's that. So now when you have it going, it'll go forward, and then this one will go back, this one will go forward, this one will go back, and that's how it moves forward there. And oh yes, the reason why this keeps shifting is because I don't have another block here. Oops. Alright, now that shouldn't happen. So now they're always going to be being powered. So this is a blue wool jacketed wire. You can use any jacketed cable. Type jacket. So you got the red ones. You can kind of see they have a little red to them. That's the redstone ones, and then you have the blue electric ones. You want the blue electric ones to transmit the blue electricity to these two motors here. And then you can just set up in the back here how I showed your filter and your retriever system. I'll go over that in a second, and then I'll also have the redstone activated. I'm going to build the next part, and we'll be right back. Alright, and we're back. So all I did was extend the base out a little bit, may add some more block breakers to the front so you can kind of see the bore head starting to take shape here. And this right here, I'm using jacketed wire, which is is basically redstone in block form. You can see I can place some down. So it looks like really thick wire, but it acts like a block, so we can push it. You know, you could use red alloy wire. I just think it's simpler. So then I have it plugging into that bottom frame and that top frame. And you'll notice that it's not touching the ground here. So I can't, if I put a clock, let's see, I think I have one in my inventory. Oh, there's one, timer. So if you get a timer and you just straight up put it on the ground there, nothing's going to happen. It's not going to activate this here. So what you got to do is you got to put some red alloy wire, and then you can kind of see how it attached to the ground there. And you can run it like that. But one's fine, and then if you put it here, then it went forward. But the thing is, we don't have this wire attached to a frame, so you kind of see everything kind of got screwed up there. Oops. So let's reset. Let's put our red alloy back. So the important thing is that you always keep your frames. Frames need to be touching things otherwise it'll get left. So you can see all our wire is now touching a frame. So when I put the clock here now, you can see we have a working frame motor. So we got the bore there, and this would actually work now. So let's just say I put some sandstone in front of it. It's going to eat the sandstone, move forward, pulse again, eat the next sandstone. Actually, it's not going to eat the next sandstone because it has nowhere for it to go. But if I put an ender chest, excuse me, put an ender chest here, see the item went in there and then it got eaten. Item went in there, got eaten. And it's just going to go on through. Let's go ahead and turn that off, though. I'll wait till it shifts back into position. Alright, so that's the basics, right? So I could infinitely expand, oh not infinitely, I could expand this up like another 40 blocks, another 2 wide on each side if I wanted to. you're going to want to do at least 2 wide on this side because you don't want to be hitting blocks here. It won't go through. You'll get the whole thing stuck. And you got to also remember to encase it with these. These don't count as blocks, part of your 1,000 blocks that you can move with frame motor, so that's fine. And then you need to make the power supply, because you want this automated. You don't want to have to come back and refill this thing with batteries every 10 minutes. It burns a decent amount of power. So here's the final design. This is the ending. So I have the wiring just to condense. I use this red pipe. What's it called? I forget. Redstone tube frame. So I have that connecting to this jacketed cobble wire here. So it'll go around here. I'm only using it to transmit the redstone. You could use obviously the red alloy, or you could put the jacketed cable here, and then you just have to expand and put frames all the way around it. I think it's just simpler to use this. And then I have it going into the side of this wire here, which is going to pulsate the filter. And then it's also attached to this redstone tube frame, which then goes into this retriever, which will also pulse this. So it pulses both of these, right, from this timer over here. So that timer gets sent through this all the way around, down to this jacketed, into these. And you don't want to use another tube, otherwise it'll send your batteries, to places. I probably wouldn't send it because it's smart, but just to be safe, I use some more jacketed cobble wire here. Right, and then you have your ender chest that has batteries in it. If the automated battery machine with this, it's basically like your water mill design, except for it pulls batteries out of battery boxes and puts them back in. So not too tough there. And then you pretty much that's it. To get the wireless, I'm not sure. I don't think you've worked with the wireless redstone, but wireless. So you got your 2 types here. That's for trolling or whatever. You got your wireless receiver, your wireless transmitter. Okay, so basically what you want is a NOT gate. Here we are. Right, so it'll be on. Wait, is it a NOT gate that you want? One sec, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I forgot how I had it set up. So basically, what you do with the wireless redstone, this kind of looks complicated, but it's not too bad. Let's make room for my hand here. Alright, so we got a 14. This is transmitting on frequency 14. So if you make a remote, they're really pretty cheap. Let me get out of cheat mode here. Let's go to recipe mode. So if I look at a wireless remote, they're just a wireless transceiver and a button, which is just obsidian sticks to obsidian and a re-ether pearl, which is not too bad either, right? And that's pretty much all the stuff is made out of those antennas and some cathodes and stuff. You made a timer before, so they're not too bad. So when I have my remote, if you shift and then you right click, it'll open up this window. It'll actually be in a simple form, but then you go to advanced and you can name them to have them set so you don't have to toggle back and forth. But anyways, right now mine was set at 14. So this 14 is going to toggle this switch, which is basically a wireless lever. And then that's going to power this 15. 15 is going to transmit over to here and turn this NOT gate off to turn the clock on. So it's being powered to turn this clock off. So this is pretty much how the quarry works. You're going to have this circuit somewhere on your on your tunnel bore. You're going to have this on your tunnel bore somewhere, and this will be your clock for your entire circuit. So you can turn it on, and you can turn it off. And this transmits interdimensionally, so if you want to put this in the Twilight Forest for some reason, since I know you guys only have like 3 dimensions there, no Mistcraft worlds, you can do it anywhere you want. It goes infinitely, which is pretty nice. And that's pretty much it. In the end, you'll end up with something like this. And I believe this is on frequency 10. This is an older one, my older model. You just hit the lever and magic. And then you have a tunnel bore. This one's on a slower setting. Like I said, the fastest I got mine up to was at 1 second. I believe this is at 2. Let's make it 1 second. And you can see how fast this thing can go. So that big, doing 400 blocks each second. Actually, every 2 seconds, because it has to push it forward, then pull it back, push it forward, then pull it back. So yep, that's it. I hope you end up making this. It is pretty epic. You'll be the first one on the Minecraft server. Alright, thanks Beef.